Hey, good morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution episode 106. It's Saturday. Did a little sleep. Did not sleep well last night. I'm not sure why. We did have some Chinese and I think maybe a little too much sodium. Um, but it is delicious. So I'll take a poor night's sleep for some excellent Chinese food. So um, today I want to talk about my adventure in chasing retail. Now, a lot of people, when they see people clearing shelves or buying up retail or actually just finding the card vendor, um, they assume that the people that are finding cards at Target and Walmart stores don't have jobs, unemployed, yada yada. The thing is, in most cases, the card vendors have a schedule, and in most cases, from what I've seen across the country from various people, most of the stores are stocked on either Thursday or Friday. It seems a lot of Walmarts get stocked on Thursday, a lot of Targets get stocked on Friday. And every once in a while, even in my city, I mean, it's like clockwork. Every Friday, the vendor is at the three Target stores closest to me. He does change up the schedule a little bit, but usually it's it's on par. I have time to take off from my job, so yesterday is one of the days that I took off, and I've done this a few times this year. Usually, my paid time off days are treasured because there's a lot going on, whether I want to take a Friday to go down to Wrigley or take a week vacation down to spring training, or my wife and I go to Europe for 2 weeks. Those days add up quickly. Obviously, this year, haven't done any of that with the exception of spring training just before, thankfully, before the pandemic hit. So I've got all these days, and some I have to take by the end of the quarter, some I have to take by the end of the year. So we're getting down to the end of the year, and I have several days that I need to take off. So I have nothing else, so I might as well take them off on a Friday when I know the cards will be stocked and I might be able to find something. And this week I wanted to find some Topps update. I was not able to find any last week. I did find some Bowman Platinum last week, and it was horrible. I have a review. Don't buy any. So I want to take you through my day of what I found, what I didn't find in my chase for retail. And I was actually the last stop I made, I was very happy. Even though I didn't get really anything, I was happy with how the experience was. Okay. So I'll get to that because it was my last stop, but I was very happy with how the day ended. So um, somebody that I've met through Twitter who actually lives here in my area. He's able to scope these these schedules out, so he usually gives me an update first thing in the morning. Hey, this store has been stocked. So he sent me a text yesterday morning, and he said, the particular store that usually is stocked first thing in the morning. He goes, I don't think he's been here, but there are Topps update packs and there are some complete sets. So I thought, okay, well, maybe I'll run down to the store that's, just down the road, a few minutes away. I'll hit that up. Maybe he went there first, changed up the schedule a little bit. So he replied and said that somebody that he knows was there first thing in the morning, and no, it had not been stocked yet. Um, so I just kind of I did some things, got some eBay packages finished up, and so I aimed for like a noon because the another store that he stocks. There's three in my area. So the one furthest away, usually he stocks like early afternoon, like around 1 o'clock, and so I thought, well, what I'll do is I have to drive by the closest store to me. I'll just pop in. Sometimes he switches the schedule up, pop in there, go to the post office, which is on the way. It's like a boom, 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 point A, point B, point C. So went to the first Target, and it had not been stocked. I think there was hockey, and that's about it for sports. I mean, it was like wiped clean. So then I decided, well, what I'll do is I'll go to the post office. So I dropped my packages off. No mail, by the way, no mail yesterday. As far as Cubs, I probably got some bills, I think. And so then I went on down to Target number 2. So I go to Target number 2, and when I walked in, there were probably 3 or 4 guys waiting. So I knew he hadn't been there yet. So I want a pair of headphones. So I went back, looked to see what their selection was, and just kind of scope things out. I did have to pick up some shampoo, so I had some shopping to do. So I went, kind of slow shopped. I browsed. So I went back, and cards still weren't stocked. And by this time, there was only one person waiting. So I'm like, I'm just going to I'm not going to wait, because there's been times where I know another guy who's waited hours and he showed up at like 4. So I'm not going to do that. So bought my shampoo and headed out. And I thought, well, since Mitch said there was some Topps Update fat packs, I'm just going to go swing down to the third Target and just scope it out. So I drove down to the third Target, and sure enough, there were some Topps Update fat packs. There were some of the blue complete sets and a couple of the orange complete sets. So the orange complete sets have the relic, and I think they're $60 maybe. So I'm like, well, I'm gonna buy one. I usually keep a set anyway. So I'm just gonna keep it, and we'll see. And then I bought 4 Topps Update fat packs. So went along my way. And did I go back? I can't remember if I went back to the first Target or not. I did, yes. So then I drove back, because what I did from Target 3, I drove back and I went to Walmart, because they're also have been stocking on Fridays. Now, Walmart was chock full of baseball. Now, the Panini Contenders basketball was wiped clean. But there was Bowman Platinum, more Bowman Platinum than what was there last week. Plus, they had the hangers for like $22, which I read somewhere a lot of the of 99s, of 250s, like the numbered parallels are coming in those hanger boxes, as opposed to the $45 autograph boxes. But I've had enough of Platinum, not going to do it. They also had a bunch of blasters of Gallery. I have no interest in Topps Gallery unless it's Cubs. And Topps Update blasters. So since Target number 2 didn't have any, or Target number 3 didn't have any update blasters, I picked up 2 Topps Update blasters, and then I went back to Target number 1 just to see in the last 2 hours if he had been there. Still nothing. So that was my first run. There's 3 runs. That was my first run. So I came home and opened up some of my Topps Update packs. My wife had some showings. She had a couple. I'm like her sign guy. I put the sold signs up and all that stuff. So I had a couple signs to help her with. So I'm like, well, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna open these packs, wait an hour, go back out. So I put the signs up and went back to Target number, which one did I go to first? I think I went to Target number 2. Went to Target number 2, and it had been stocked, and there was a bunch of Topps Update. There was a bunch of Absolute Football. There was, what else was there? he had a bunch of the complete sets. So I bought Panini Contenders Baseball. So I bought 4 blasters of Panini Contenders Baseball, and they had these 1,000 count card sleeves for $9.99. So that's exactly a penny a piece. So I did buy 1,000 card sleeves. I should have bought both, but there was 2 there. I bought one. So I went along my way. I went back to Target number 1, which is on my way back home. By this time, there were people waiting. So I went in and I bought some painter's tape. Just I can always use painter's tape. So that was it. So that was run number 2. So I knew at this point that, okay, the vendor's going to come. I'm going to just try to time it right. So I come back home for like another hour, told my wife I'm going to probably run back to Target in an hour. She said, oh, good. I need Kleenex. So, okay, perfect. I'll get some Kleenex, grab a 6-pack of beer. So I went in. By this time, there were a few more guys waiting. I think there were 10 guys waiting. So as I grabbed a cart to get the Kleenex and my beer, the vendor was there. So he was stocking. So, and the line was waiting. So I went, picked up the Kleenex, picked up the beer, came back around, got in line. I was number 11 in line. Okay. Everybody was patient, lined up orderly. The vendor finished his stocking, and then the guys went along. And what made me happy, so there was like nothing. It was like a wall of Topps Update, which I had already bought 2 blasters and 4 fat packs. That was good enough for me. There was a wall of Topps Update, and there was a whole bunch of fat packs of Absolute Football. So, and that was about it. And there was some Donruss sets for like $40. And this is what made me happy. So the product didn't make me happy, but one of the guys that was ahead of me in line, he had a couple of the Donruss boxes, and he's like, hey, do you want this? And so I looked, I'm like, oh, is this just a set? He's like, yeah, $40. He's like, I'm going to grab it if nobody else wants it. I'm like, oh, cool. I don't have any interest. Go at it. So he was like asking everybody that was in line if they wanted it. Super cool. That's awesome. You hear so many stories of retail. Well, I don't hear too many stories, but you hear stories of retail and, oh, this guy cut in line and grabbed it all. And there was almost a fist fight in the parking lot. And you hear all this, but in Madison, Wisconsin, where I'm at, everybody has been, in my experience, has been awesome. Accommodating. I mean, guys text each other to say, hey, you know, the vendor's here, the vendor's there. Sharing, you know, not scooping it all for themselves. It's been great. So I did grab 4 Absolute fat packs. So I think I have 10 total that I'm going to open tomorrow during football games. So they're the value packs. In fact, I may go back and buy a few more if there's any left. Because I forgot the Kaboom inserts are in there. I mean, I probably won't pull one, but at least that's a carrot. So I pulled 23 Cubs cards. Now I'm going to blog, so I don't want to show them all off, but I'll show you. Here's an example of a Chris Bryant Panini Contenders. And then I love this. Ernie Banks from Topps Update. And then here's a base Topps Update. Jarrell Cotton, who never played a game for the Cubs this year and was released. So 23 Cubs cards yesterday from my retail pulls. That puts me at 507,923. And I actually bought a couple big boxes of Cubs cards this morning from a Facebook group. So that'll push me up a nice little number. My goal for 2020 end of year was 500,000, which I reached a while ago. And it's kind of been a slow trickle. I haven't been really focused on trades. I've been focusing on pumping up my eBay store and just gathering up, a nest egg so I can make these purchases like I did this morning, and basically just buy whatever I want Cubs wise. So I'll have a nice little push. So kind of my rolling goal now, we're at mid-November, is 525,000. by the end of the year. And then that goal for 2021 is initially it was going to be 650,000, but I'm going to push that out to 675,000. I was kind of waiting to see if some of these bigger trades were going to come along, but it doesn't appear they will by the end of the year. So hopefully I'll get those done next year, and we'll have a nice push to 700,000 next year. So that's the Cubs. I showed off the card sleeves of the Absolute Football. So let's show off some of the hits. First, I want to show this year when I looked at the blasters and I saw coins, I cringed because I hate coins. Coins are annoying. You put them in penny sleeves and they don't fit right in boxes. They get tossed aside easily. They're a pain in the rear to ship. So I cringed when I saw coins. But when I pulled the pack out, like, well, this is weird. Why are they in a pack like this? Because it's an actual card. It's a thick card, and the coin is right there. How cool is that? I love that. They are super thick, and it's one of those where it's, they're they're basically dollar relics, a couple dollars. So you can't ship them PWE because they're too thick, and they're probably not worth shipping in a bubble mailer with tracking. So I may throw them on in my eBay store, $7-8 and ship them bubble mailer. But they may likely end up in a trade package in the future. So was happy with those. I pulled a turkey red Gavin Lux. That's in my eBay store. I rainbow foil Mike Trout and Justin Upton. Bichette rookie debut. Here's the number one prospect. I freaking love these cards, this insert set. Casey Mize. There is a Cub in this, Brennan Davis. I bought one on eBay. I pulled about 6 of these in my packs, but no Cub, no Brennan Davis. I pulled Casey Mize. I pulled Cabrian Hayes. I pulled, I think, Nate Pearson. I can't remember, but I pulled about 6 total, I think. I pulled a vintage stock of 99, Drew Pomeranz. Pulled the Randy Arozarena rookie. I sold this on eBay last night. I pulled 2 Trent Grisham rookies in his Padres uniform. Those are in my eBay store. And I also pulled a pair of Gavin Lux rookie debut. Also pulled, it's in my box to list, a pair of Kyle Lewis rookie debuts. So those were my hits. Panini Contenders, 4 blasters. There's a guaranteed auto in each blaster. All 4 were redemptions, but a couple of them were good. One's like a number to 75, I think. Jesus Luzardo pulled a Sam Hilliard, which already sold, and 2 Isan Diaz. So it's a fun rip. I actually had a friend of mine reached out, texted me last night and said, hey, Walmart has Bowman Platinum and Panini Contenders. Are any of these good? I said, stay away from Platinum. I said, Panini Contenders is fun, but it's probably not worth. I like it personally, but I wouldn't recommend it. So he's like, I'll just save it for something else. So yeah, that's it for Friday's fun today. I'm going to finish up some eBay listings. I will be putting up, and I was going to do this, I think, last week, but my eBay sales kind of skyrocketed last weekend. So I was just busy doing packages. I'm going to do a variation listing for 74 Topps baseball. And pretty much all of them will be 99 cents free shipping. So if you're building the 74 Topps set, I will be putting a variation listing on those. And if you buy 3 or more, it's 10% off. So you get those for 89 cents. So going to be putting up, and I think I have maybe 400 or so, maybe more. So I will be putting those up in my eBay store. If not today, probably tomorrow. So that is all for Hobby Evolution, episode 106. Check me out on Twitter at 1 Million Cubs. Also on Facebook. I do need to get on there more and drive a little more discussion. 1 Million Cubs Project on Facebook, 1 Million Cubs on Instagram, website 1millioncubs.com, and you can visit that eBay store link, top of the page, 1millioncubs.com, top of the page. And again, 10% off when you buy 3 or more items from my eBay store. Thank you and have a great Saturday.